Hello and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I'm excited to show you how we can create an Android augmented reality restaurant menu app using Jetpack Compose. So let's get started. Before we dive deep into the code, let me show you how the layout of our app is going to be. I have prepared a layout in Figma. We will have a circular button with two navigation buttons on its left and right. Users can navigate forward and backward through the 3D objects by clicking on these buttons. Before moving forward, for those of you who missed our previous video on AR app using XML layout, you can check that video. The link of that video is in description. So now we are in Android Studio. Let's start by creating a fresh empty Compose app. I will create a new project, empty Compose activity. And the name of the app is going to be AR menu. You can name of your choice. So I think it has opened in a new window. Okay, let me bring it here. So now we have our fresh new project ready. I think it takes some time for a Gradle build, so let's wait for that. So by now let's get our library, and the library which we are going to use is SceneView. Here's the dependency, and we have to use this one. I think I have to copy this. Let's add that here, and now sync it. Takes some time. As you have seen the layout of our app in the Figma, the app is divided into two components. The first one is the AR view itself, and the second component is going to be that navigation bar where the image is in center and the two navigation buttons. So we can divide that using different composables. So I think we have to remove this. So let's start by creating menu composable. So now I will create a data class to handle our food, where name of the food is going to be string, and an image which shows the food. Let's name it image ID, and it is going to be int. You can choose the type using which you want to create this. So now we have our data class prepared. The next thing which we are going to do is to create a layout for that. So the first thing which we will require is items list, and it is going to be list of food itself. So the first food will be anything, name it a burger, and I have prepared images, so let me add that. You can get that by downloading it from my GitHub link. So let me copy my images here. I have a burger. Okay. Let me copy it here. Paste. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 items for now. You can add of your choice. Download the 3D model from the Sketchfab, get the picture of it, and add it to your menu. Also, we require two navigation buttons icons. So let me get it from clip art. I think arrow will end. Okay, this arrow back. Okay, next finish, and one more arrow forward. Arrow forward, here it is. Good. One more thing, the most important thing which requires is we don't have a model yet, and you know, if you follow my previous video, the process is pretty same. Okay, let me comment that out for now. We have to create our asset folders. Okay, so let me get here, create a new. Okay, so let's create our assets folder. Here, folder, assets folder, finish. So now we have our assets folder. In that assets folder, we have our directory. In our assets folder, we have one directory, and the name of that directory will be models. And in that models, I will have our 3D model of our food. So let me copy that also. I have downloaded from Sketchfab. You can download that too. Let me paste that here. So now we have a burger, instant noodles, momos, pizza and ramen here in our model section. And with respect to that models, we have their images also in our drawable file, like burger, instant, momos, pizza and ramen. So now you understood that we call that model using that name and call that image of that model using image ID. So now we are prepared with our images and our models. Let's start by creating items. And our dot drawable dot burger. Let me copy 5 times to get 5 items in a menu. Oh, sorry. I have to add comma also. What the hell? Okay, let me copy once again. Paste, then paste, then paste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's all. Burger, and the next item we have, let me check here, instant. It is really difficult for me to came with the name of dishes. I don't know. You can see here what it is called. You can comment that below. I don't know, so I pronounce it instant. Let's instant soup noodles. Okay. Next thing is momos. We love momos. Burger, pizza, and one more is what? Ramen. And the ramen is, I think, noodles. Yeah, noodles. I don't know, some Chinese noodles. We have that ramen. We also have pizza, momos, and our instant. So now we have our item list prepared. So let me get the modifier, and then we use that modifier to fill max width and some vertical alignment, and the vertical alignments will be centered vertically, and arrangement. Okay, let me check. Camera is there, so it hides some part of my screen. Horizontal arrangement dot space around will be fine. So now we have our row also prepared, and in that row we have 2 buttons and one image that shows our current food item in the AR view, and buttons for the navigations. So first we will have our button, which is going to be our icon button. Let's get that out. Icon button, on click, leave it for, and in icon button we will have our icon, and that icon which we have downloaded, r.gerber.back, back, and let's give the description of previous. And the next thing will be image, and the image will be the current item from our list. So let's leave that for a while and have our next icon button. Okay, icon button, and here we have our icon, winter resource, forward, okay, sorry, forward icon. The description for that will be next. Okay, what happened? Next. So I think our basic layout for our menu thing is prepared. I think the most important part is left, that is that image. So let's get our image done. I think it is really a good idea to create a new composable for the image, because we need some like circular shape of that image, or add some borders or like some effects. So it is really a good idea to create a new composable for that. And now we will create a like circular image. It is reusable, composable, you can reuse anywhere you want. Circular image. It will take few things like image ID. It will take image ID. Oh, it is. It will also take a modifier. Let's provide a default modifier, and image itself. We can create it of our requirements, like as per our requirements. If we want to like change our border width dynamically, we can pass that to circular image. I think for now what we want to change dynamically is that image ID only. So leave it that for now. I think for now we only need image in this circular image, but you can, if you want to change like border of that circular image dynamically, we can pass that to that circular image composable. But for now we only need image ID, so keep that for a while. But you can change if you want, you can change. And to create, you will need a box, and the modifier will be the same modifier. I think so. Let's give that a size. And 40. Oh, sorry. 140 dp. Okay. And we also provide a clip, and it is going to be a circular shape. And if we want to add some like border, so it will look nice. So let's add a border, and the border will take a width, which we will give 3 point width, which will be like 3.dp will be fine. And next thing it will take is color. So let's create a color here. I think here it is. Okay, here your theme color. So let's copy that and create a translucent color. Translucent color. Sorry for that spelling mistake. And it will be like really translucent. I think this will be fine. Import that here. It is not. Okay, capital D. Sorry. Translucent. So now we have a box ready. One thing we have to add is our image, and the image ID will be image ID, which we get from where that circular image is being used. Let's keep that null for a while, and we can add some more properties to image, like content scale, and content scale will be fill bounds to fit the box. I think this will be nice. Okay, so we have our circular image, we have our menu section, and now we will call our circular image here, circular image, and the image ID will be the current index of our item list. So to keep the track of current index, we will create current index by remember mutable state of 0. Okay, the first item will be 0. Okay, let's import everything. And now what we want is our image. So we will get our image from the current index, a dot image ID. So this is the image ID. When the user click on that navigation buttons, like if they move forward, we will update that current index, and using that current index we will get our current image from our item list in this circular image. Using this will also help us in getting our 3D model in screen. The navigation button will also help us changing the 3D model on our screen. So the next, I think this will work, and we can create a separate function to handle clicks. Okay, I'll create my function here, and the name of the function will be update index. What it will do is it will update current index with current index plus list, and what image, what is the name of the list? Item list. Okay, so items list dot size and list dot things. Okay, item list dot size. If you're worrying about this is the logic to get the infinite navigation from one to last one. If you click when the item is on last index, if you click forward, then it will start from 0th index. So this is a basic function, and we will reuse this for our next logic as well as previous logic. But the thing which we will need here is offset. So this update index will get different value for next and previous buttons. So first let me call it here update index, and to get the previous one we will get -1, and same goes here, but here what we need is next, so we'll add 1. So I think this will work fine. What we have to do now is just call this menu composable inside a surface, but before doing that let me remove this function and create a box in which, and just like fill it, modifier, fill max size, so that we'll call our menu and place it to a bottom of our screen. Modifier dot align, alignment dot bottom center. Okay, so what this will do is the box will fill our screen and the menu will be placed at the bottom of our screen. Okay, so try running that. So now, as you have seen, we have our navigation menu on our screen, and I think there are a few changes to be done to improve the layout. I think the image is not fitting well. So to do that, we can just increase the size of the image so it will fit that box. So we can do that by using modifier dot size. The size will be as same the size of the box. This will do great. Okay, now half part of the whole app we have completed, and now the next part is to create a AR screen. So to handle AR screen, let me create a separate composable for that, and the name of that composable will be AR screen. So now here's come the role of the library which we have added in our build.gradle file, SceneView, that will help us to get the AR scene in the app. If you have followed my previous video where I have used XML to create AR experiences, there also we have our special view that SceneView provided us. Here also they provide a composable which will help us to get our model on the screen. So let's get that AR scene, and let's get started by passing parameters one by one. So modifier will get the whole size of the screen, and the next thing we want to do is pass nodes, and we will create a here, and we will create that here. So why I'm creating separate from AR scene now, why I'm not creating it here, I will explain you it later what's the reason behind that. So let me create that first. Well, nodes, and it will be, remember, mutable state of will be empty for now, and this will be of type I'm creating that here, nodes, and it will be like this, mutable list of, because we have to get the list of all the nodes which is in our screen, and it will be of type AR, AR node. So we have our node created here, and let's nodes, because this is a list of nodes, and we will pass that here, nodes here. And the next thing it will need is plane renderer, and we will pass that to true. And the next important function is on create. It will give us AR scene view, using which we can set multiple things, like, let me do that for you, light estimation. And to get the optimal performance, for now I will set that to disabled. You can do, or you can try using, like, they have multiple options, like if I'll show you, you can see ambient intensity, environment HDR, and disabled. So you can try that. So for now I will use disabled, and also I will set my plane renderer to not receive shadows to get the performance. Okay, because the motive of this video is just to get things on a screen. Okay, you can try it. And one more thing we need is our model node itself. So let me create that here. You will understand what this is used for. Model node, and remember mutable state of, and this will be of type AR, or AR model node. And for now I will assign null to it, because why I'm doing that is I want to change the model node on the button click, and when this AR scene has been rendered, then we will provide a value of this model node. Okay, so model node dot value will be model node dot value will be AR model node, and it will take like placement mode dot instant. For now I'm using that. You, as obvious, you can try. And why it is showing error to me? So it will also require engine. We will get that from engine here. In the previous versions, I think this is not required. I don't know why they have added now. So not to worry about that. And now we will load our model here, which will take a GLB file location. So let me assign empty for now, and the scale units, there are various parameters. You can just try it out. If I hover over that, you can see here, like scale to units, origin, auto animate. We will use like some on loaded, or like you can use on error to handle the error. So call that functions. We will here. So to call that functions, you can just add a curly braces, and for the next function what we have is on anchor changed. On anchor changed is like when the model is not anchored, like when you try to move the model from one place to another in the screen, this will be called. Okay, we will see where we will use this. And one important one is on hit result, which is used to place a model on the screen. Okay, and now I think we have done with our AR scene. One important thing is like we also have to add this model node in this nodes, and that nodes will be passed to this AR scene. So let me add that. Here. Nodes dot add. If it is not making any sense to you, just try to comment below and I will make sure to answer your questions. Okay, so I think we have a model added to this AR scene and it is ready to be rendered, but it is not ready to be placed because we are not handling this on hit result, or we are not adding any code to anchor it. So to do that, we have to create a button which will help us, like if you have seen my previous video where we have a place button on the screen, which will, when you click on that button, it will place the model on the screen. Okay, so let me create that button. So one more thing, because the button is used to place the model on the screen, the button should not be visible when the model is placed. Like when you click the button should go away. So to handle that, we will have place model and it will be remember mutable state of, and it will be like false place model. I think just rename this to place model button, which will be good to understand. So now we have a place model button which will help us handling the present, like visibility of that button. So we also need a button. Let's create a button, and on that button we will have text which is going to be like place it. Okay, and on this button click, what we will do is, why we are having this like model node outside of this AR scene, because we want to control the visibility of this button on the basis of this model node. If the model node is anchored, we want the visibility to be false of the button. So we also want to like anchor the model node on the click of the button. For that, we have to have a reference of that model node outside of the AR scene. Okay, so that's the reason behind having that reference of a model node, or like a model node outside of this AR scene, and we are calling that model node inside the AR scene. What we will do is simply value dot anchor. This should not be null. So this will work, absolutely this will work. And now, so what we want when the model is not anchored, set the visibility of the button to be true. Like when you want to place, or when you want to move the model from one place to another, just set the visibility to be true. So we'll do that here, place model button, and we have a value like is anchored. So you can see here, when the model is anchored, set the place button value to be false, so that we can't see the button on the screen. Same goes here. Okay. Place model button node dot is tracking. I am always forget to add a value. So this will work absolutely fine, and we have added the logic. But one more thing what we have to do is change if place model button, because the visibility of button depends on the value itself. So this will work fine. One more, what left? So what is left? And now I think we have done adding our AR screen to the main surface view is left for now. But one more thing is left. We also have to add model. Now we are providing it explicitly, but we have to change this GLB file location on the button click in the navigation. So we also do that, but for now let's try. So let's try like placing a simple model in our screen, which will indicate like our app is doing good. GLP. Let me run the app. So now we are getting a model in our scene, and the next thing which we have to do is change the model dynamically according to the navigation. So when changing the menu from the navigation, the model should also change. So to do that, we have to pass on click which will give us a string, and the string is nothing else but the name of that model, and where we will call it, on click, and here what we call is current index. Okay, sorry. Items list current index dot name. So we are getting the current model name when clicking on click, and I think we also have to call it here. So you can see here we are getting the clicked model here, but how we can pass that to AR scene? I think AR screen should also have model, and it will take string, and we will pass that to model. So I think this should work fine. And one more thing, now AR screen required model, and to handle that, what we will do is current model. We will create a variable for that, current model. Remember, new table set of, and the default will be burger, like first value of that list. Here you can see. And to change this, just first pass this to scene, okay, value, and to change that we can change it by replacing it with the clicked model. So what we are getting here from menu will pass here. So I think this should work fine. We should able to change the model in our screen using menu. One more thing we have to do, that is like update when the model is changed. Like we have to, where is the screen? Let me put that. So we have to change, we have to call this, because when the value of model changed, this function will not call again. So to call this model node again, we can do that by using launched effect, where key will be model. So let me create that, and I will do that here. Launched effect, where key will be our model. And what we are going to do that with launched effect is we will change the current model in our AR scene. So we have to paste it here. Okay. Some additional things I want to add is when you placed your model, you don't want your camera to scan new places for that, to waste the resources. To deal with that, we have a function on session create where we can assign plane renderer dot is visible to false. Okay, try running without this. You can see in your logcat your phone is searching for a plane. Okay, we are using that to just stop searching for the plane when the model is anchored in our screen. This is pretty much, and few more things I have changed, like here you can see I have forgot to just add a circle shape. Without that, the border is looking like a square box, so you can see. By the way, if you are not able to run the code by your own, just try to get my repo from my GitHub and just look through. So I think one more thing is left. The place button is not aligned properly, so let me align the place button also. Where is place button? Here. So here the button is a part of this AR screen. To act the button as a part of AR scene itself, we can add both AR scene and the button in a separate box, which will act as a screen. Using the importance of the box is if you want to add some native elements to like your AR scene, example navigation menu or like icon buttons or anything, we can use that. So I think as you see, this is pretty much repetitive. We will shortly optimize it as per our requirements. So let me add AR scene and the button inside that box here. And now what we can do with the button is we can place this at the bottom of our screen or the center of a screen. So let me place that at a center so that user should find what to do with that place button. So I will insert that. We can also change this like whatever you want to do with. So I think we are done with the app now. The app should work fine. We are getting the model on a screen. We have the list of our menu items. We have a separate composable where we handle navigations. You can add models inside that asset folders where we have a models folder. So there are many ways using which we can get rid of this data class. But for now, to explain you, I am using this. So this is a very small app. We don't need any optimization for now, but we can do. There are pretty much scope, I think, where we can optimize this because we are adding boxes and boxes on top of it. So there are few ways. But there are something which is on your screen, like AR experience, your AR menu is ready. You can just play with that, add models, download from Sketchweb, add it here, get pictures of those and add it to drawables and do pretty much what you want to do with that. Okay, so thank you so much for being here till now.